Hi everyone, and welcome to Santa Barbara Wargaming Presents Dark Souls, the board game Let's Play. Today, Ironmonger and Daklathen will be playing a game of Dark Souls, the board game, as the Warrior and the Herald, respectively.
I'm going to be playing the Warrior.
And I'll be playing the Herald.
Okay.
Just in case you're confused by what respectively means.
Okay. So we're basically playing through the first game that's outlined towards the back of the rulebook for the campaign system. It ends with the Gargoyle. We've got 5 tiles, as you can see, set up here. We've got all of our character stat tile stuff over here. Is the bonfire tile. As per the first encounter with the Gargoyle, we've got a level 1 encounter here, a level 1 encounter here, a level 2 encounter over there, and then we've got the mini boss, which is the Gargoyle. Depending on how fast or how quickly we level up, we may just go ahead and do the single Gargoyle instead of doing a double Gargoyle, but we'll cross that. We'll cross that horrible fire-filled dragon bridge when we come to it. The bonfire tile, we've got all of our equipment set up right over here.
And our soul cache.
Soul cache. The 2D Firelink Shrine, Maiden Firekeeper, that's what she's called, Firekeeper, and then Andre, all of our inventory is going to go right here. Our sparks. We need our sparks.
So, whether or not you're familiar with the Dark Souls universe, games, video games, etc., it's not super consequential. Just know that you're probably here because you know about them. If you aren't familiar with them, they're pretty cool. They're a medieval horror setting, very like low fantasy, although there is magic, so like mid fantasy. But it's a very grim and dark kind of game, and it's known for its difficulty.
So what you're saying is it's a grim, dark game?
Yeah. It's a really fun game. It's hard, it's not for everybody, but it's still an enjoyable game. So we're going to try the board game version of it. Now, Mark, you've played a number of games of this, correct?
I have. I've played quite a few.
And this is your personal copy?
This is my personal copy. We played through
when you first got encounters. I played by myself.
Played by himself. Yeah, he likes to play by himself.
And I tried it out because I was excited for it. Not enough to back it, and I'm glad I didn't. Not to say that it's not a fun game, but it's definitely not. I didn't have a great experience when I first played it. That being said, we have played the game several more times, got the rules better, know the rules better, and a number of members of our group have played it quite a few times.
Yeah.
And really enjoy it. So I'm giving it another shot, and I figured we'd do a Let's Play while I play it again. Because this is how I play Dark Souls. I jump in and play and get really frustrated and end up backing out, creating a new character, and then steamrolling through the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I think most people have that experience when they're first doing the game. So
also, this is Steamforged Games. If we haven't mentioned that before, the publisher of the game is Steamforged. I believe that they have the license from FromSoft or Bandai or whoever's actually doing it. This base game is pretty much a mashup of Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3. Some of the expansions have like DLC expansions. We're getting Darkroot Basin, and there's in the Kickstarter there's some stretch goals which were like Dark Souls 2. Some of the cooler stuff. No Fume Night though. Well, unfortunately.
So it takes a lot of aesthetic choices from a lot of different versions of the Dark Souls video games. But in gameplay, I found that it plays most similarly to Dark Souls 1, where it's structured much more like the original Zelda, where you have tiles like these, and each tile presents a puzzle of combat and traps.
Yeah.
And your goal is to defeat the puzzle of combats and traps, just like in Zelda. And it really has that same kind of like, what's in this area of the map? Oh, it's these guys. I can't kill them yet, or whatever it might be. So you it definitely has that same vibe, which Dark Souls 1 has as well, where you kind of enter a square-ish area, fight 4 to 6 dudes, and then move into the next square-ish area.
All right, so we're going to dive right in. As you can see, we've got our Herald character, we've got our Warrior character that are over on the we'll call it Firelink Shrine. They call it the Bonfire tile.
And bonfires, just called bonfire.
Bonfire, right? We've got 4 sparks, which is basically
it's your game overs. It's your continue points.
It's your continue points. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We don't have our Estus out yet, but I'll be putting those out.
Yeah.
So
anytime any number of players from the party perish in the game, the entire party resets and loses a spark. So it's not only is it a cooperative board game, but it's punishingly so, where you need to make sure that whatever you are doing, you are protecting your friends as well as fighting the enemies. So there'll be times where you have to make a tactical decision to fall back or to put yourself in harm's way just so that Herald doesn't die or the Warrior doesn't die because they're on their last blip of health or stamina. So it definitely has that cooperative feel that you want from a cooperative dungeon crawling game. And it has... There's nothing easy about this game other than the rules.
Yeah, no, it can be quite punishing. The only thing punishing about the rules is not all of them are super clear.
Yeah, well,
and so that's what
the rules aren't really clear in Dark Souls, the video game, either.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
it's like you're there.
This time you walled everything and killed all the trash and had no problem. The second time, the first zombie dog bites your head off, and you're like, oh, what the hell happened?
Yeah. Okay, so I have the highest taunt. I can't remember, frankly, if that's what matters in the very beginning. I think that the Knight always has it like first go.
Yeah,
we don't have the Knight. We're only playing with the Warrior and the Herald. So we'll say that for right now, I have the first player token, which is the Sunbro emblem, and then I have the aggro token. I like to cosplay as a Darkrai. So basically, that's yes, absolutely. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and pick the encounter room to go into first, and we only have one option.
Right.
So
how does this work? So when we're playing, we're going to be entering into a room. Can we freely move into the other rooms?
You can't freely move unless you're doing the campaign system. There's something called like dash through in the campaign system. We're just going to play it normal. Once you're in a room facing an encounter, you cannot leave the room until the encounter is completed. Essentially, how it goes is you pick the room. You flip over the encounter.
Why don't you show them?
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pick this room.
And you're going to walk into it.
I'm going to, well, first, before you walk into it, you flip over the encounter.
Oh, so you knock down the door.
You knock down the door, yeah. So I'm knocking down the door, and we have the deeps, and this is going to be kind of a challenge right off the bat. So we have a, I don't know if we can get it in...
I'll put a little thing.
Oh, okay, there you go. So we have a Silver Knight Swordsman. We have a fucking Kubat Hollow Warrior. We have a Crossbow Hollow. We have a Gravestone, or Tombstone? Grave Tombstone. And then we have a Barrel, right? Daklathen will be posting this up, so he'll be able to show you the cards. There's actually no traps in this room. If there were going to be traps, at the bottom of the card, wherever it shows on the screen, there will be 2 spears kind of pointing off against one another there. So in the deeps, they go on the nodes that's indicated next to them. So we will have a Silver Knight Swordsman, a Hollow Soldier, and a Crossbow Hollow, and 2 of the other items I just talked about. All right, so we've got a Hollow Soldier goes on the sword. And then on the same node, instead of squares, they call them nodes. Oh, the sword is wibbly.
Because this game doesn't use square movement, it uses node movement.
It does. We'll put him. Oh, his sword's wibbly too. Oh my god, my swords are all wibbly.
Yeah, we had a heat wave. Hooray!
Yay! And as you can probably tell from the wibbly swords, the quality of the miniatures is not the greatest. In heat, they tend to...
This definitely isn't a game that I would recommend to people who care about miniatures in their games.
No.
This is a game where if you don't want to play with meeple or like little wooden... Well, you actually do play with little wooden cubes. But if you don't want to play with meeple, like this is the next step up. This is like a little bit better than like Milton Bradley Hasbro style molded plastic. They're not multi-part. You know, they come pre-made, they're bendy. It is what it is. And they look fine for what they are. In
Yeah.
fact, some of the bosses look fantastic.
Some of the bosses look great. I wish that they kept the original Dancer version because I like that a little bit better. But I mean, the bosses look good. Even the Gargoyle, as quickly as I painted him up, it still looks pretty good.
He's over here.
Yeah.
This is the Gargoyle.
So there's our enemies. We have to basically set up on either this node or this node. I'm going in first, so I'm just going to say, screw it. I'm going to set up right on that node. Now, each node has a limit of 3 miniatures that can be on it. So Daklathen can either take his Herald and he can set up on the same node as my Warrior, or he could set up further away. Yeah, shock. Look at the look of shock on my face. Okay.
But I'm doing that for 2 reasons. 1, I don't want to be in the same node as you because I don't want us both to get hit. And 2, my weapon actually can't hit adjacent enemies. I have to be at least 1 node away from them.
And each one of the enemies have a card. We've got a Hollow Soldier card. We've got a Silver Knight Swordsman card. These are pretty dangerous. And then we've got a Crossbow Hollow card for the enemies. In the base game, there's only 6 enemy cards, and then all the bosses have all their same mechanics. We'll cross that bridge again when we get to it.
If we get to it.
If we get to it. Okay, so I'm first player. I pick the encounter. I also have aggro, so
Because
enemies will come to me if I have aggro and it says on their card that they have aggro. They'll fire or move towards or away from the enemy with aggro. After aggro, it basically passes to whoever has the highest taunt value. My Warrior has 9. The Herald has 4. I guess Harry the Herald doesn't. He's not very taunty.
well, he's a herald.
He is a Herald. So enemies go first, and then I get to go, and then enemies all get to go again, and then the Herald gets to go, and then enemies all get to go again. Whenever it's the beginning of somebody's turn, they get the aggro past them. So we'll see how this goes. Basically, I may have 2 turns of aggro against me. We'll see. Okay, so right off the bat, each one of the enemies also has a value in the upper left-hand corner of the card that says which one of them has priority to go. So the Silver Knight Swordsman, he has priority first. He has a priority value of 7. So the first thing he does is move 2 inches towards the nearest. Now aggro and nearest, two nodes. 2 nodes.
Sorry, we're tabletop wargamers, so
Yeah, 2 inches, 2 nodes. He's going to move 2 towards the nearest enemy, and then he's going to attack with a push everybody in that node. Whoever's
see why I
nearest.
didn't want to be near the warrior.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and so he starts. Now when he enters the node, so we only move 1 node there. When he enters the node with a hero, though, he stops. He does not continue to move, but now he is going to attack. So he just does a straight 5 damage with a push everybody in the node. He has a range of 0, which means it's only the node that he's on. So I'm going to take 5 damage, right? Unless I'm able to defend against that. Now, he has a dodge value of 2. So these guys are just like, if you've been on Orlando, you know that at kind of a lower level, they can be pretty rough. So I'm not going to try to dodge him. My Warrior, I don't even think I can dodge him. I get attempted.
You do have a single dodge. You have a single dodge die on your armor.
Yeah, but I'm not going to attempt that. I'm just going to try to tank it since my armor's not that bad. So I have... What do I have? I have
black
1 black dice for my shield, plus 1 black dice for my armor, and it's physical damage as opposed to ranged or magical. We'll talk about that later on. My battle axe has no defense, so basically I get 2 black dice. Whatever the number of successes are, you subtract from the amount of damage that he'd be doing to you. He'd be doing 5, but first he pushes me with the attack, so I have to take a place to be pushed to. Because this is kind of a let's play, I'm going to go ahead and say I want to be pushed into the barrel node, just for fun. To do that, I have to spend a stamina because I have to be able to break the barrel. So I'm going to take one of these little stamina cubes. I can't remember if they're actually called stamina. This is your endurance bar.
It's,
This is health.
it's stamina and health.
It's stamina and health, right? If the two
red
red
or
or
meat,
black ever meet, you're dead.
it's game over, man.
Everybody, game over, man. Everybody goes back to the bonfire. Your spark resets, and that's it. So we flip over. I spent my endurance. We flip over the barrel, showing that it's broken. So I move back there, and now I have to roll my defense dice. So I get 2 black dice. All right, the black dice are not great. They're actually the worst. I think the most you can get is a 2 on them, and they actually have blanks. They have blank sides. Okay,
Great.
so that was better than I thought. So I actually was able to absorb 2 of the damage. I got 2 swords. He did 5. 5 minus 2. I take 3 damage. So I take these little red cubes, and I put them from right to left on my endurance bar. Oh, just fit in the hole. Okay. So I have spent 1 stamina, and I've taken 3 damage, so I have 6 left before I die. Now, at the beginning of each of your activations, you recover 2 stamina from your endurance bar. Recover means that you remove them. That was a little annoying for me to realize when I first started
Were you
playing.
thinking that you gained like stamina?
I don't know. It's like you gain stamina means that you remove. Anyways, so that was it for the Silver Knight Swordsman. Now we go back to the enemy cards, because all the enemies get to go before any of the heroes get to go.
So you know what would have been an elegant solution for that is if you just started with a full stamina bar, and for each stamina you lose, or each time you take damage you lose stamina.
And so if you ever get to nothing in your endurance bar, that would have been neat.
Yeah, that would have been a little bit more elegant.
Yeah, because it feels like
there's a lot of
we could try to kind of house.
Well, but there's a lot of one of the main criticisms of this game is that there are clunky mechanics, and it feels like Dark Souls.
I mean, I can kind of see why they did that a little bit, just because it's
more interactive.
You might take 8 damage, but only use 2 stamina.
Yeah,
something like that.
But it'd be the same. But it would be the same result.
It'd be the same result.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the hollow soldier gets to go, and he moves 1 towards the nearest. We're equidistant. We're both 2 nodes away, and so he's just going to move up into this node. Now he only has an attack of 0. He can't actually get to either of us, so he just kind of stalls out right there and doesn't get to hit us. Finally, the crossbow hollow gets to go. First of all, his mechanics are a little different. He has an aggro symbol instead of a closest symbol. So he moves first, 1 away from aggro. So we'll just move him right there. And then he fires at aggro, doing 3, not physical defense, doing 3 magical range. It's kind of, I think they actually call it magical or arcane or something with rules, but
yeah, it's basically non-physical damage.
It's non-physical damage. So he's
which is weird because in the video game, arrows are physical damage.
Yeah, so he's going to shoot at me. So I have to look at my equipment and see what non-physical damage prevention I have. My shield is absolutely no good. My northern armor has 1 black. My battle axe has nothing. So I get to roll 1 black against 3. So regardless of what happens, I'm going to end up taking at least 1 damage here. And I take 2 damage. 3 minus 1 is 2.
You rolled that perfectly on the node.
So I have exactly 4 endurance left before I'm dead, and then we go back to the bonfire. Okay, now it's my turn to go. So I'm going to... Oh, you know what? I think that we get hit who has aggro first. Well, it wouldn't have picked
you.
Yeah, we picked. Okay, so I'm going to... You get to move 1 node for free. So I'm going to move into this node. The node limit hasn't been exceeded, but it has been met. So if somebody else was to move into the node, it would squirt one of them out. I believe is the phrase that we've
squirt.
been using is squirt. So I'm going to use my 2 stamina ability. Now this is risky, but if I do, I get to roll 2 black dice against everybody in the node. And they only have, the Silver Knight Swordsman can take 3 damage before, or he can take 2 damage before he dies. If I roll a 3, I'll kill him. Hollow Soldier is 1. So again, this is going to be a little risky. I might have to Estus at the end of my turn, but there you go. I want to try to put as much damage as I possibly can into him as quick as I can, because that's my play style, as opposed to trying to do something intelligent like back away or anything like that. So I'm using 2 stamina, so I've got 2 left. And now I get to roll 2 black dice, and it's going to hit everybody in the node. And you'll see that on each of your weapons. You'll have like a 0 stamina option that just says what you get. You get to choose one person to hit. Or you might have a node option, or you might have something else. Actually, you know what? Daklathen, can I take that back?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to take that back.
It's a cooperative game.
It's cooperative. I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to use my, it's not my lucky coin, it's my my heroic ability. Flip over that locket there. Instead of smashing locket for gems, we're doing this. I'm going to flip that over, and that allows me to use that ability without spending any stamina.
That's smart.
So I just get to roll 2 black dice, and I might not die if I don't clear this node, this activation. So roll my dice, and what I'm looking for is a total of 3 here. Oh,
That's
and I got
3.
the 3, and I'm pretty sure that I clipped the mic. Yes, so it's 3. He only has 2, so you subtract whatever his physical armor is. If there's any remaining, that's how much health he has. He has 1 health. It's indicated as a heart in the upper right-hand corner of the card, so he dead. And then Mr. Pooh Butt, he dead too.
So you just roll 1 set of dice against everyone in the node. Or it applies to
if
everyone.
you have that special ability.
Yeah.
If you have like what looks like a little circular ink splot here, that means everybody in the node, whatever is affected by the dice roll. So that was good. Now I can spin the soul back in Firelink to redo my heroic ability, or is it? No, it's to spend a soul for the lucky coin. Heroic ability? No, it's the lucky coin. We'll cross the lucky coin bridge when we come through. All right, so that is going to be my activation. I'm not going to Estus. The most that the crossbow hollow can do to me is 3 for this activation. But yeah, aggro I don't think passes from me to Daklathen until the beginning of his turn. I'm pretty sure it's not until the beginning of his turn. So I'll have 1 more shooting. Hopefully I can tank some of that. And then Daklathen can run up there and kill him. Alright, so now the... so now the enemy gets to go again. He's going to back away first, 1 from aggro. I have aggro still, but he's not going to back away because he's in a corner and he's the furthest away from me that he effectively can be at this time. Now if he is going to do 3 damage to me, so I go ahead and I roll that non-physical damage absorption dice, defense dice.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm looking for is definitely a 2 here. No, I got a 1. I take 2 damage. Oh, I realized at the beginning of my turn, I should have removed that stamina.
Yes, you should have.
Okay. Take 2 damage, so I have taken quite a bit of damage. I still have 3 left. And now...
Definitely not doing a no-hit run.
No. And now the aggro token passes to Daklathen. I retain the first player token. That doesn't revolve until we go into the next encounter.
Alright.
So now...
Now it's my turn. Alright, so the Herald's going to activate and he is going to move forward. So everyone gets a free movement of 1 node, and then for each node beyond that, you have to spend 1 stamina. The enemy is 3 nodes away from me, which means we'll get 1 for free. I also have to spend 1 stamina to attack. But my weapon doesn't hit models in the same node as me. It hits one away, so I don't have to move as far, which is really nice. So I'm going to have to move one for free into the barrel space, and then spend 2 stamina to move up further.
1, 2. There's your stamina. Oh, I'll just put it here myself.
You're manning the board instead of. Okay, and then I'm going to attack him. So I'm going to be using my trusty spear.
And so the spear has either 0 stamina, where you have to hit at least 1 away for 1 black, or he could spend 3 more. Or he could spend 3 more stamina, and he'll do 1 plus 1. So he will die regardless.
Oh, wait, what? Well, he has 1 armor.
Oh, no, he has 1 armor.
So I can roll 1.
So he could roll 1.
I will be spending 3 stamina to do my powerful attack. So I get that extra chance, because after you wipe a room, kill all the enemies in a room, your health and stamina reset. And so I'm
But for some reason, you only get 2 souls per person instead of a number of souls.
And you only have 1 Estus boss for the whole dungeon. So
yeah.
there's things.
There's things. Yes!
Alright, so I did enough damage to kill the archer. Or bowman.
Whatever. Crossbowmen are called archers, too, I'm sure. Okay.
So now
Yay.
we also get to flip over this.
We get, so for each one of the tombstones that we accumulate, we get to flip over and see what the boss's actions are, what his attacks and movements and stuff are. So
They're the same on both sides.
I don't know if you flip it over immediately.
They're the same on both sides.
They're the same on both. Yeah, no, we flip
Oh,
over
no.
cards.
We'll do that when we get to the boss.
Yeah, we'll do that when we get to that. So we get to see what and in what order his actions are for each one of the tombstones that we have. Now, there's not always going to be a tombstone in each room. Getting 1 tombstone is good, because the Gargoyle, he's only got 4 cards until he heats up, so it's great. And we'll talk about heat up later when we get to that too. If we get to that.
So until then, viewer, may you roll poorly.